Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Taking a quick look here again at Phantom, seeing what's going on. Get a lot of requests for this one, so I'll go ahead and put this on the regular list here. Make sure we try to cover it frequently. But the truth here is that there's a lot of liquidation at lower price points, and there's a great chance that this most recent upper level of liquidity got swept. And again, this happens all the time. You got to be very, very careful with these upper levels of liquidity. When that area comes back to retest, it's really common for the price to break through that level. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a quick look at the backend data, see what's going on with this coin, and kind of go from there. Really quick before we do, heads up, I got an awesome Discord community. Be sure to check that out if you're curious. Within our premium group, we took some nice profits yesterday, or no, that was this morning rather, at 6 a.m. 112% in roughly 2 trading days. So awesome stuff there for Near Protocol. Congrats to our community members for that. What we want to look at though is the backend data quickly to recognize a few things here. So can you see a common theme here? What is the theme that you see here? I see liquidations and a bunch of ballsy shorts getting wrecked time and time again. So as again, you see the price comes up here, wakes up here, pulls back, shorts into the market, they wreck the shorts. Price comes up further, price hits this level, price pulls back, comes back up. No, not kidding, just kidding, not quite. Bunch of shorts into the market, comes up to sweep them again. This is just a constant rinse and repeat for a lot of coins, especially right now. So be careful shorting coins, you're better off taking a long position. That having been said, let's see if this is worth taking a long or a short at this point, because it is, again, overextended. Certainly looks like it, right? We've got 2 green candles here so far. Keep in mind things come in threes. We do see a 3rd green candle tomorrow. Could be followed by a 4th red day. It's very common for 3 white soldiers or 3 black crows to occur. Again, in trading, it's a pretty common occurrence. Taking a look here at stochastic, we can see the price action swinging up, of course. That's very good. RSI, money flow index are high. We do want to see money flow index higher than the RSI. That's usually a better sign, but for right now, we'll take it. This daily time frame is looking bullish, though. No other way around it. We're ascending positively with this 20-day SMA. We'll go and draw out a trend line here, roughly, to kind of understand and take a look at this here later. Okay, so again, we're just going to go ahead and draw this out. There's no like specific lines in the sand here with these levels. You got to recognize they're mostly just kind of references for future to understand roughly where we're at. Okay, so please note, some people are like, hey, you just draw a bunch of lines and it matters. Yes and no. I mean, they're not always definitive, but they certainly do help us understand generally where we're at with things. All right, so taking a look at the 4-hour time frame here. A couple things to note. First of all, if the price were to pull back, let's just cover the worst case scenario. 0.382, 0.5, 0.618 are the most common retraced levels. Okay, so we can kind of see that reflected here on our Elliott Wave. If this is the top, we will see those levels inevitably because we typically see an ABC pattern, a lower low, lower high, and a lower low. Okay, price action will pull back after it hits its overextended waves 3 times. In other words, 3 higher highs, 2 higher lows, followed by 2 lower lows and a lower high. It's really, really common with Elliott Wave. So I'm just kind of getting at that worst case scenario. The price comes back here. A likely bouncing point would be this 0.5 level where we have the most amount of volume accumulation. It's always interesting to me how common we see the most amount of volume accumulated at those previous halfway point marks. Okay, so Fibonacci 0.5, extremely reliable level of support. Okay, having said that, let's go ahead and see if we have anything else telling us it's going to bounce or continue higher. We have a stochastic convergence here, of course. RSI up over 70, money flow index trailing behind. I don't love money flow index trailing behind, but it's still, again, somewhat of a bullish sign. We're at a 9 on TD sequential, where we can see the price action is due for a correction. If we look at its history, it's been known to hit a 9 and continue. Okay, there's a 9, another continue. So we'll look 1, 2, 3, 4, roughly 16 hours of continuation after each 9 we see before the price pulls back. So right now we're at 19 plus 1. We've got roughly 12 hours of continuation, and then we should see a correction from this coin. Again, these are just examples of how the price overextends itself, stays overextended for a few hours, and then continues in the other direction. Okay. Again, we have this lower liquidity sweep here. Price continues upwards. We already swept our liquidity here, which makes for the sense for the price to pull back to that 0.382 or 0.5 level. I'm not saying you should short to that level at all, because again, statistically, you're less likely to be successful shorting. What I am saying, however, is to maybe consider a long position at these lower levels if the price pulls back. Okay? Emphasis on the word if. We do not know. Coincidentally, we got 0.236 here as the most recent high. That could even be a bouncing point too. We may not see as low as 0.382 or 0.5. So again, a lot of little things we want to kind of take into consideration when taking a trade. Let's look for confirmation on the hourly here and kind of see what's going on, and if this is giving us any indication that we should close our position or leave it open. it really pretty much tells us we want to keep our long position open. There's nothing here working against us. This is free and clear. We've got the conversion line above the baseline, good momentum, and obviously we can see the cloud consolidating over here nicely at that 0.236 level. So these are all great signs to consider leaving your position open. Okay, so I see nothing here in the cards telling us that the price should pull back. However, there's a caveat, of course. We can see we're overextended yet again at a 9. Most recently, the price hit a 9, continued higher. Is it going to hit a 9 and continue higher? Perhaps, if there's a lot of liquidation levels at the higher price point, we might see that. Oops, I think I just screwed up the charts. There we go. Okay. What I'm getting at here is if we see a lot of liquidation here starting to form as the price continues to stay here at this price point, then we will see one more leg up before it discontinues. But statistically, at this point, we shouldn't see much more movement to the upside. What was more probable is the price action to consolidate being range bound between these two levels here of roughly 46 cents and 49. That would be a likely scenario. And again, keep in mind, the longer it stays in this range, the more likely it is to break to the upside. Just like Bitcoin right now, the longer it stays at 44,000 or higher, the more likely we're to see 45, 46, even 48,000 is possible next step. All right, that's everything here. Hopefully this was beneficial. Well, one last thing too, I just want to cover this as well because we got a lot of questions, but also more importantly, a lot of positive feedback from our community with this new exchange we're using. They have no KYC or VPN requirements. We're transitioning over from BingX, having VPN requirements now. While I do have an affiliation with, ExpressVPN, you can reference that in my link down below. If you don't want to go that route, you can definitely utilize this exchange instead. They have significant benefit rewards if you transition over as well. Okay, so again, be sure to check them out. Phenomenal exchange. They have really good tech support, and we also have a little community in here so we can kind of learn a little bit more about how that works. If you're curious about the exchange, check that out. Link down below. But I do hope you have a great rest of the day. Thanks again so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.